So continuing onwards, I'm looking at my units here that I've stacked around Delhi, trying to figure out how to move them back to their home cities, because I don't really have any long-term plan to turn Delhi into a garrison city. In fact, some of these are probably going to be disbanded, simply because if I continue trying to maintain them, it's going to inhibit me from building more settlers, which will be the next step in all of this. Because the next step is to develop this continent to the greatest extent possible, which means building even more cities and building irrigation, building roads. And in this playthrough, I'm not going to have too much of a chance to do that. If I turn this into a long play, then I will. So a lot of this at this point is automated because I've used the go-to command. Of course, when a unit is under a particular order, you notice it has a little letter code. So this chariot has a G because it's under the go-to command. I mean, if it were a settler doing irrigation, for example, it would be I. If it were a settler doing road construction, it would be an R, and so on. So there I've built my first musketeer. So I'm going to disband this militia in order to free up production capacity for the next musketeer. So I'm assessing where all my troops are here. So go to Rome. So Roman scientists, and notice it says scientists now because of, I think, invention. I think they start calling them scientists as of invention, once you develop invention. So now I have to choose my next technology, and it will be mysticism, which sounds silly, but actually you need that for the so-called religion advance. And you need the religion advance to build cathedrals, and you would say, well, why does the society have to be Catholic? Really, the role of the cathedrals is more generic as the highest end religious improvement to a city, other than various religious wonders like the Oracle and J.S. Bach's Cathedral and so on. And they're important because once you switch to a republic or to a democracy for your government, you need a lot of religious and entertainment improvements to avoid rioting. So, again, a lot of cynicism in the design of this game. Some more go-to commands to try and save some work here if possible. So Caesarea just built a temple. I'll build a barracks because it doesn't have one yet. Carthage builds a barracks. So now Carthage will get musketeers. And I'll disband one of these phalanxes to improve production capacity. So Roman scientists discovered a secret of mysticism, which sounds like a little bit of a contradiction. So now I will develop philosophy, because philosophy not only leads to a lot of other things, but you get rapid advances immediately after the philosophy improvement. In Civilization 2, if you're the first society to develop philosophy, one of your cities becomes the center of world philosophy for a while. And then you make advances very quickly. I haven't seen quite the same advantage in Civilization 1, but once you get a chance to do philosophy, even though it seems silly, it actually, for gameplay purposes, is quite important. So, musketeers here. I'll disband a phalanx to improve production capacity. Antioch builds a barracks. I'll disband this phalanx. So I have a musketeer here, and I can disband this basically redundant phalanx now. Nicopolis builds temple. Now I'm going to need a barracks in the city. So 2 million citizens in 500 BC. So that's pretty much what I wanted to do. I wanted to build the society as large as possible, as early as possible. Now, of course, I'm having problems with big cities because I don't have all the infrastructure in these places yet, and I will try to remedy this by building some more settlers to cut the sizes of the cities down, because for the moment, the sizes of these cities are not genuine. They're not a genuine advantage, because I don't have the technology to really take advantage of it, and it would be better to spread out the society a bit more and increase my access to not only city sites, but natural resources. Again, like I said, the goal should be to conquer and or settle the entire continent that you're on. So, Roman scientists discovered the secret of philosophy. And so now, it makes sense to develop religion, even though many people are very skeptical of the idea. In civilization, you need it for the cathedral improvement, among other things. So now I'm going to finally build some settlers again, because in the short term, the sizes of these cities need to be kept down, and that's the most productive way to do it. Cyrene builds barracks, and so now I build more musketeers. I'm thinking in terms of defense now, rather than offense, because I do have to think in the long term now that I've contacted other civilizations. But in any case, I have to continue that in the next part,